Different Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah. I mean, I dread so much a dentist.
You dread the dentist?
Oh, they even got on my chart that, I just have this phobia of dentists. And when he was doing some of the work, he gave me a Valium.
Mom goes in, every 6 months to get your teeth cleaned.
She'd go every 3 months. I don't know why she don't, except her insurance probably fixed it up. I said, well, dental insurance really 2 cleanings.
Staring down the boulevard. Girls comb their hairs in rear view mirrors, and the boys trying
I live in that house way up there. I mean, it'd be nice, but you have to come down that hill.
Yeah.
Remember that time in Atlanta, Bruce Springsteen, he threw a guitar to his technician, but he wasn't ready.
Yeah. Oopsies.
I just remember when I forgot the song, but he was in concert and Courtney Cox got up there
Dancing
dancing.
in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was such a stage thing, It's like,
Well, it was just a music video. I thought, as a kid, it was real,
oh, was it?
No, it was just
video.
It's just a video for a song.
So, have they done away with those stacks already?
They're still there.
They are? They were going to implode them.
I don't know. I know that. I didn't even know the plant was in operation.
They shut it down. Nope, they got rid of them. I would love to be part of getting them to take down, that old cement tower that's in the middle, like when you're coming into Rome, you see it. I think it was like Comcast, but it's right an eyesore. You see the Rome clock.
Yes, I know what you're talking
You know what I'm
about.
talking about? It's such an
I remember
eyesore.
when it wasn't there. And it was. I mean, I was a kid.
And it serves no function
No, I didn't know that.
whatsoever.
I don't really knew anything about it, but when they're dismantling this plant, I don't know if you saw the newspaper story, but they were. Hang on, let's see. You got it?
Yeah.
All the metal they were taking to this. The county had a little piece of property. They leased it or sold it. I guess sold it to this company that was a salvage company. And 24 hours a day, they were crunching up this metal in smaller chunks. And it was right adjacent to a neighborhood. They put up such a stink. They finally said, we got to come up. They come to an agreement, basically like, all right, we won't do any more metal, but y'all going to buy this property back from us. And it was horrible. The people that were living there said, come, we want people to come to our neighborhood and see what this is like. This is horrible.
And that's a shame that they would even think to put it near a neighborhood.
I mean, they showed pictures of people's backyard. You could see the trucks coming and going and
Ruining roads.
I mean, dogs wouldn't stop barking at it. People couldn't sleep. You couldn't have a cookout because it's just constant noise.
Yeah.
They went to a city, one of those commissioner meetings to discuss it, and that's what got us. If they had made a stink or made it in the newspaper where a lot of people were aware of it, it probably would still be going on.
Yeah. Well, there's a big stink too about the over there, like on Chulio Road and back in that area.
How about building that neighborhood?
That big subdivision.
Yeah.
But they're not making making any allowances for the road system.
Well, that road is narrow anyway.
And it's supposed to dump in like 1,000 cars a day or something like that.
They want to build 1,000 houses or
Yes,
something back there.
and so Bill, this guy in the tomb, his house is out there, and so he's been going to the meetings and all this stuff.
They're not budging, are they?
Because the city won't take any responsibility, the county won't take any responsibility. The developer for sure ain't going to take any because he's already got what he needed, the land and the permits. And I said, well, then throw him out of office.
You've heard this song before?
Yes. I can't imagine. Well, to me, like Bill Collins, getting all these contracts like with Floyd or Atrium. He's got all kinds of contracts with them. Well, his wife sits on the board. She ought to have to not be on the board.
Yeah, recuse herself from that
Yes.
issue.
Yes. Of course, it probably wouldn't make a bit of
No,
difference.
because some people don't want to make an enemy.
Right.
Friend.
Well, you know, there
They
was
not
like,
vote on your way on something.
there was $84 million Atrium paid. And only $4 million of it went into a trust or whatever they do with it, or indigent care or whatever. So, can anybody account for the other $80 million?
Is that the Floyd Medical or Redmond Hospital? I never know which one. I can't remember these names.
And you know, Floyd is a taxpayer.
Right, it's non-profit, right?
Yes. I said, well, I'm sure about 10, 15 of it went into Kurt Stumpl's bonus. Probably 20 million went into Atrium's CEO. They said, well, you don't think too highly of us. I don't think too highly of any of them.
The one that's Redmond, that's the one that's the Seventh Day Adventist Hospital.
Yes. Atrium will gobble them up too, just like they're gobbling up Harbin. They already own 40% of Harbin.
Oh, yeah?
And a lot of the Harbin doctors walked out. I said, well, it's just a matter of time before they gobble them up. I mean, I'm sure they've already, in their long-term planning, that's already a done deal. So they've already moved on to other areas so that they can become basically the sole provider of health care. I said, well, I don't know if it really makes that much difference at all because it's still pharmacy and, you know, these appliance companies and all the stuff. They've got so much money that they dictate what goes on. They own the politicians.
You've heard of the Spinners? You heard this one?
Just keep play.
Yeah. I don't. Excuse me. Lord, a sign for police department hiring on a billboard.
Yeah, the sheriff's department does that too.
Who would have ever thought? Sometimes I wonder who would want to be a policeman.
People who like to be bullies.
Not all
I mean,
of them.
not all of them, but I think there's a mentality of be a policeman. I can throw my weight around a little bit.
Well, now
I'm not
there's.
saying they shouldn't, but I think if you ask who wants to be one, I think that's the.
Well, it can't be for the money because what they have to do and deal with, $35,000, $40,000 is not enough.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So
And
if they get a
Floyd
little
County
ego
plays
boost
less
out of it, God
than
love
other
them.
counties because Floyd County is this great training facility where people train here and then they quit and go instead of like
Go somewhere
go
else.
some kind of better paying adjacent county. But the county is up there paying for everybody $1.25 an hour to
if they would cut out the unnecessary stuff.
I don't know if there's much fat in the police department.
Well, I mean, like government around. Now, not necessarily your local governments. I'm sure it's there. It's there in hospitals. It's there everywhere. But, you know, look at our federal government. If they would just cut out the fraud, if they could get a handle on the fraud that happens. I listened to something where people were, and I know the techs and stuff that I worked with, they did this all the time. Always changing their tax status, you know, they'd claim 10, 15 dependents and they wouldn't have to pay any federal taxes. But this guy made a point, he said, why don't we all do it? And just tell them we're not going to fund you anymore. You get away with it for a year. And then what are they going to do? Arrest everybody? Why did you want to come to Westron?
I don't know.
Just come through it?
Yeah.
I don't know when to turn to go in this place.
Right here at the line. What you got to get at Lowe's?
I'm going to look at light fixtures for my kitchen and maybe bathroom faucet.
So you can turn the GPS off.
Honey, you want to get out of the middle of the road?
Good Lord, is
What
she
the
high?
hell? She must be. She didn't even look startled when she turned around. I'm sitting right there on her. She might not even know she's at Lowe's.
You have arrived.
You know, now that we got this new guy doing our yard work, I think I'm gonna. We got the foliage or whatever shrubbery around our house in the front yard. It's always been a mix match. There were 3 different kinds of things.